All right, so welcome to day 6 of the Parenting Breakthrough. Over the past few days, we focused on understanding your kid's emotional landscape, clearing emotional blocks, building connection. Today, we're taking everything you've learned and turning it into action with a personalized behavior plan tailored specifically to your kid's needs. So why is this so important? Because no two kids are the same. And, typical parenting advice often assumes kind of a one-size-fits-all approach. But as parents of kids who are really intense and extra emotional and sometimes have a specific diagnosis, we know that what works for one kid might not work for another. So that's why today's focus is on creating a plan that's as unique as your kid. One that's going to address specific triggers, specific unmet needs, and goals while keeping your family's dynamic in mind. Let's dive in. So why does this matter? When you try to apply generic advice to a unique situation, it's like trying to force a square peg into a round hole. It just doesn't work. And often it leaves you feeling more frustrated, more defeated, and losing hope. A personalized behavior plan changes that. So instead of reacting to challenges as they come up, you'll have a proactive roadmap to build a way to guide your kid through different moments and that they have trouble with, that you start to see over and over again, and help them develop new skills to get through those moments. This is about moving from chaos to clarity, one small step at a time. So step 1 is identifying the sensory triggers and the unmet needs. Many challenging behaviors stem from sensory triggers, unmet needs. The first step in your behavior plan is to really identify these underlying causes. Is my kid overwhelmed by noise, lights, textures? Are they trying to communicate something they just can't put into words? Could they be hungry, tired, thirsty, overstimulated, seeking some sensory input, seeking some love? For example, if your kid often has meltdowns in noisy environments, this behavior isn't defiance. It's a way of expressing sensory overload. So recognizing this allows you to address the root cause instead of just the symptom. So, consistency is key for many kids, especially those who thrive on predictability. So visual aids and routines can really help your kid understand what's coming next, which is going to help reduce anxiety and resistance. So here are some tools to consider. Visual schedules. Use pictures or icons to outline the day's activities. And you can put words on there too. You can print pictures that you find on Google Images and use those. You can just draw really simple images. This is where the customization comes in, because you're going to know better than me what your kid will respond the most to. And, use some first then boards. Show your kid what they need to do first to earn a preferred activity next. And the next item here is social stories. Simple, personalized stories that explain new or challenging situations, right? So if they're having an issue socially at school where they get into fights and have blowouts with other kids, you can do some role playing around that. But before you do the role playing, you read them a story that's related to what they're going through, what they're struggling with, and teaches them how to resolve that kind of thing the right way next time. So they're taking it in not as advice, but as a story, which, in convincing anyone, the best thing you can use is always a story. And, these tools don't just guide your kid, they give them a sense of control, which can be really powerful for them. So the next step here is setting realistic incremental goals. So big changes don't happen overnight. That's okay. The key is to set small, realistic goals that build on each other over time. So for example, if your kid struggles with transitions, start by just practicing one transition a day with a timer or a countdown, and do that in a low stakes moment, right? Do that when you don't need to be out of the house like right now, or you're going to be late for something. Do it when you have lots of time so that you guys can play with it and make it a game and make it fun. Celebrate every little step forward, no matter how small. It's progress that matters, not perfection. So, now it's your turn. Today's action step is to complete the worksheet And, we're going to jump into that in just a second. But just remember, this is a process. Your behavior plan doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be thoughtful and tailored to your kids' needs. So by taking the time to create a plan and really think it out, again, using the techniques you learn in the book, learning techniques of your own, creating your own techniques, then you're giving yourself and your kid a powerful tool for growth. You're moving from reacting to challenges to proactively shaping your family's dynamic in a way that works for everybody. So tomorrow we'll take this a step further and we'll explore how to maintain consistency and adjust your plan as your kid grows and changes. But for today, focus on completing your behavior plan worksheet, and let's jump into that now. All right, so here's your behavior transformation strategy part of the workbook. So what's the specific challenge you have here? And here's a detailed analysis. The behavior, desired outcome, incremental steps that you could take to solve that behavior. Triggers, current situation, desired outcome, incremental steps you could use to dampen triggers or help us get desensitized to triggers. The emotional component, what's the current situation, the desired outcome, and then the incremental steps on that. And then as you implement strategies, track them. You tried the strategy. When did you do that? What was the success level? And what could you adjust to make that better? So that's it for day 6. And I'll see you tomorrow.